I did this string thing a while ago, and it's been sitting in my book as a nice little abstract thing. You could see basically what the character was going to look like in that abstract kind of string mark, but there were two things going on. One was that I didn't know which medium to use to bring the thing to life. Watercolor didn't seem right because it's too transparent, and I just knew it wouldn't work for what I was seeing in this thing. Acrylic just didn't seem right either for other reasons. The second thing that was going on was I was starting to tell myself that I couldn't paint what I saw, that it would look too weird or silly or something, and it just never felt right to start for some reason. And I sat on it for months while I worked on other things, but that goes against advice I would give to another artist in this situation. The advice I would give is to just do it. Just start it. Who cares if it's not very good, that whole thing. But I didn't do that. I didn't follow that advice. And I think that was the right thing, because one day I had to get a new tube of white gouache. And while I was at the art store standing in the gouache section, my eyes were just wide at all the colors. They looked so beautiful to me. And I only ever use white gouache, and then I use the watercolors to mix with that white gouache. But I was just mesmerized by all the different colors of gouache that I had never even tried. So I bought a bunch of them. I got a few basic colors, and I fell in love with gouache. It's like watercolor, but opaque rather than transparent, which is always how I've described it to people. But actually using it as opaque watercolor was like a whole new world. I couldn't believe that I never used gouache just as gouache before. And I realized that that's what I needed to bring this little string character to life the way that I saw it. It needed to be gouache. And that ended up sparking a whole series of paintings where I start with the string thing and then paint what I see using gouache. The sketchbook is more of a process than a product. I needed that knowing what I wanted to do, but avoiding doing it, kind of naturally and organically come across the gouache section in the art store that one day. Sketchbook is a nice little safe zone for little things to just live while you kind of figure out what they need. It can be like a little garden and you're planting little seeds in it. Sometimes it's just not in season for things to come out. You have to take a visit to the gouache store and just let the spirit move you. We tend to focus on individual pieces, and there's pressure to finish pieces and move on to the next thing, which is good, and actively experimenting is good. But sometimes avoiding something is good too, because you haven't realized the medium that you need to do it in this case. And what you need to finish it is right under your nose, but you can't smell it. So allowing yourself that time to let things just happen and let the answers just come on their own is just as much a part of the process as trying something new and finishing a piece in one sitting and just getting through to the end of it.